Is Jungkook's Weverse cooking live truly an apology for Taehyung? Why did his hands tremble, and what does Tae's mysterious silence mean? Was that subtle like the hidden sign of forgiveness, or just coincidence? Join the emotional storm. Comment, like, and subscribe as we unravel the truth behind this dramatic moment. Is it true that Jungkook would go to any lengths just to earn Taehyung's forgiveness? Could the seemingly innocent moment of him cooking live on Weverse actually be more than fan service? Could it be a secret message meant only for Tae? Why did his hands tremble as he chopped vegetables, as though the weight of unspoken words lingered in every motion? Was it guilt that made him fumble with the pan, or love that made his voice falter as he nervously hummed between stirring the soup? And more importantly, was that meal a hidden apology, a culinary confession born out of regret for that infamous moment when Taehyung's eyes darkened with jealousy at the airport, watching Jungkook embrace Arm? Fans have been torn apart by these questions, their emotions pulled into a storm of speculation and heartache. Some armies believe that Jungkook's late-night cooking session was his silent plea, a way of saying "I'm sorry" without uttering the words aloud, hoping Taehyung would understand. Others argue that his trembling hands betrayed his true feelings, that it wasn't just stage fright or nerves from broadcasting live, but the anxiety of wondering whether Tae would even see, let alone accept, the gesture. Could it be that every ingredient he dropped into the boiling pot carried a hidden meaning? Was the way he seasoned the food a reflection of how carefully he wanted to season their fragile bond back to life? And what about Taehyung's silence? Days passed, and while Jungkook showed his vulnerability, Tae remained quiet, his lips sealed, his heart unreadable. Was his silence an echo of pain still lingering in his chest, a wound not yet ready to heal? Or was he crafting something in secret, a surprise response to Jungkook's efforts, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal his side of the story? Could his silence be more powerful than words, a form of communication only Jungkook could understand? Then came the mysterious social media moment, the sudden like from Taehyung's account that shook armies to their core. Was it accidental, or was it a deliberate signal, a small olive branch extended in the digital world? Could that single tap on a screen be Tae's quiet way of saying, "I see you, I feel you, I forgive you"? Or was it just a coincidence, magnified by a fandom desperate for answers and aching for reconciliation? The tension only grew as fans dissected every glance, every silence, every digital footprint. Why did Jungkook seem so restless in the days that followed, his eyes glistening with emotions too heavy to hide? Why did his smile appear fleeting, as if it carried both hope and sorrow in the same breath? Could it be that Taehyung's forgiveness was close, or was Jungkook caught in a cycle of waiting for a response that might never come? The questions multiply, each one more piercing than the last. Was the airport embrace with RM truly innocent, or did it spark a fire of jealousy that has yet to burn out? Was Taehyung's heart torn between trust and doubt, forgiveness and pride? And what of Jungkook? Was his trembling during the Weverse live a physical manifestation of his longing, his desperate hope that Tae would watch, listen, and feel the sincerity hidden in every dish he prepared? The emotional storm surrounding this moment has drawn ARMY into a whirlwind of hope, fear, and speculation. They replay the Weverse live endlessly, pausing on every subtle detail. The way Jungkook's hands quivered, the way his eyes softened when he looked at the camera as if searching for someone, the way his words trailed off as though meant for ears beyond the millions watching. Was he truly talking to fans, or was he, in his heart, speaking to one person alone? And if Jungkook truly cooked for Taehyung, what does that mean for the future of their bond? Will Tae step forward with an answer, a gesture, or even a word that confirms what so many already suspect? Or will the silence remain, leaving fans caught in the limbo of uncertainty, forever wondering what was real and what was imagined? This story is no longer just about a simple cooking live. It has become a puzzle, a drama, a love story unfolding in whispers and hidden signs. And now the world waits with bated breath. Will Taehyung respond with forgiveness? Will Jungkook's trembling hands finally steady in the warmth of Tae's acceptance? Or is this all a series of coincidences, beautifully tragic in the way they play with the hearts of millions? Is it truly possible that Jungkook's trembling hands in that Weverse live carried more than nervousness? That every movement was a coded language meant only for Taehyung? Fans who have watched the replay over and over insist that there was a hidden intensity in the way he glanced at the camera, as though searching not for the millions who tuned in, but for one specific pair of eyes he hoped were watching. Could Jungkook's meal really be the bridge between two hearts divided by jealousy and silence? Or was this all a cruel trick of timing, coincidences stacked in a way that makes the story feel too perfect, too cinematic, to be anything but real? The atmosphere surrounding this incident has turned the fandom into detectives, piecing together fragments of moments like shards of glass, each one reflecting a different angle of the same story. Why did Jungkook hum so softly between his words, as though the silence between sentences weighed heavily on him? Was that melody a way to calm his nerves? Or was it a song intended for someone who wasn't there? When his hand slipped, almost dropping a spoon, armies gasped. Not because of the utensil, but because of what it might have meant. Could it be that his emotions were so overwhelming they manifested in something as small as clumsiness? And then there's Taehyung, the other half of this unfolding mystery. Silence has always been his sharpest weapon, and this time it cut deeper than ever. Some armies believe his lack of response is proof of his pain, the kind of wound that requires time to mend. But others argue it's strategy, that Tae is waiting, calculating, preparing something even grander than a simple reply. Could he be planning a public response, a dramatic revelation that will silence every rumor and confirm every suspicion? Or is his silence meant only for Jungkook, a way of forcing him to understand the depth of his mistake and the sincerity of his apology? The social media has now become infamous. It was a single touch on a screen, an action that takes less than a second, yet it ignited a firestorm of speculation that has lasted for days. Could it have been intentional, a small but powerful signal of forgiveness? Or could it have been nothing, a meaningless slip that fans turned into poetry? The very uncertainty of it is what fuels the obsession, because in the absence of clear answers, the imagination of millions fills the silence with possibilities. Jungkook himself seemed to unravel in the days after. Fans noticed his laughter didn't reach his eyes, that his energy fluctuated between bursts of charm and moments of visible weariness. Was he exhausted from schedules, or was he carrying the weight of unanswered apologies? Every flicker of his expression became a clue. Every pause in his words became a mystery. Could it be that Jungkook is living in a limbo, suspended between hope for reconciliation and fear of rejection? And then comes the question that haunts every fan theory. Was the airport embrace with RM really so innocent? On the surface, it was nothing unusual. Members of BTS have always been affectionate, always supportive of one another. But when viewed through the lens of Taehyung's rumored jealousy, the embrace transforms into a spark that lit a fire. Was Tae truly hurt by the sight? Or were his fans projecting their own emotions onto his silence? And if he was hurt, did Jungkook realize it too late? Was the cooking live his attempt to rewind time, to undo the moment that fractured something fragile between them? The entire situation has blurred the line between performance and reality, between fandom dreams and personal truths. Fans now analyze not just the actions of Jungkook and Taehyung, but the spaces between those actions, the pauses, the silences, the hesitations. The narrative has become larger than life, a living drama that unfolds in fragments across social media, live streams, and fleeting interactions. Each clue feels like a breadcrumb leading to something bigger, something fans are desperate to uncover. And yet, perhaps the most heartbreaking possibility is that there is no grand plan, no hidden message, no elaborate drama. Perhaps Jungkook was simply cooking for his fans, his hands trembling out of nervousness, his silence a reflection of exhaustion rather than emotional turmoil. Perhaps Taehyung's like was accidental, a finger brushing a screen. Perhaps everything armies have dissected is nothing but a mirror of their own hopes and fears, projected onto two people they love deeply. And yet, even if it were all coincidence, doesn't that say something profound about the bond between BTS and ARMY? That love can turn even the smallest details into epics. Still, the story is too compelling to dismiss. Jungkook's trembling, Taehyung's silence, the like that shook the fandom. These are not details that fade easily. They cling to the imagination, demanding interpretation. The world waits, caught in suspense, wondering, will Taehyung answer? Will Jungkook's apology be accepted? Or will silence stretch on, transforming love into longing, and longing into legend? Until that moment arrives, speculation reigns supreme. The Weverse Live is replayed endlessly, every frame studied as though it were sacred text. Fans whisper in comments and forums, crafting theories that range from heartbreaking to hopeful. The truth remains hidden, but the emotions are raw, undeniable, and deeply human. Perhaps that is why this story resonates so strongly, because at its core, it is not just about idols, but about the universal ache for forgiveness, the desperate hope that love can survive even the sharpest wounds. And so the question remains echoing louder than ever. Did Jungkook really cook for Taehyung? And if he did, will Taehyung ever taste the apology hidden in that trembling meal? Or will the dish grow cold, uneaten, as silence swallows the words that were never spoken?